Hey guys, welcome to another movie review. And today I'm gonna review one of my favorite childhood movies. That's right, as you can see right here, it's the Wiggles movie, which was released back in 1997. The movie starts off in the Magic Club, where Wally the Great was trying to audition for the Magic Club competition tonight. But his uncle Cecil told him that his magic wasn't working. No matter how hard he tried, it always kept failing and failing. But once Wally heard that the competition was tonight, he started to get really anxious because he really wanted his great grandfather's magic wand. Well, however, there was somebody else who wanted it. Wally's rival, Roland the Remarkable. Wally could not stand Roland because Roland's like always bragging about himself. But once Wally left, he decided to go out and find the wand. And then the song Hey There Wally begins. And after that song, it takes place at Mrs. Bingle's school, where the Wiggles were performing for her students. They perform all the classic songs like Dorothy, Would You Like to Dance With Me? Can You Point Your Fingers and Do the Twist? And Rockabye Your Bear. But after performing the first two, Dorothy got exhausted from all the dancing, so she decided to take a little break. And while she was taking a break, the Wiggles told the students that it was Dorothy the dinosaur's birthday, and they were planning to give her a big party, but it's a surprise birthday party. So they decided to pretend they didn't know anything about it. Unfortunately, that made Dorothy really sad. And then Greg decided to perform a few magic tricks for the children. But once Wally saw how good Greg was at magic, he decided to use his wand. And so Wally took Greg's wand. Fortunately, Dorothy saw, and she chased after Wally. And then she kind of got a ride on the back of Wally's trike. And after performing Rockabye Your Bear, the Wiggles noticed that Dorothy was gone. And one of Mrs. Bingle's students told she knows where he is. She said, I saw her changing a strange fellow who's been carrying your magic wand. And then she kind of retrieved Wally's cape. And so the Wiggles decided to go out and find Dorothy before her big surprise birthday party tonight. And then the Wiggles decided to head off in the big red car. And then, during that scene, if you notice that the Wiggles were taking off in the big red car, it was fishtailing. And if you listen closely, you can hear Murray, Jeff, and Anthony. They were going, whoa! Because they thought Greg was some sort of crazy driver. But he didn't mean to be. Just that the big red car really took off. That was the actual audio of the other Wiggles freaking out in the car. And if you remember what the big red car sounded like in the movie, it sounded like this. Yep, that's what it sounded like in the movie. And then the Wiggles did the song Quack Quack. which was originally at a lower pitch, and it didn't have the one which we hear today. And then back to where Dorothy and Wally were. Dorothy was trying to get the wand back from Wally. And then once they were fighting over it, the wand broke in half. Then Wally got upset. And then Dorothy thought now she has to spend the rest of her birthday getting the wand fixed. But once Wally heard that, he told Dorothy that this one's going to help me win the magic competition, and I promise I'll get it back to Greg. Yeah, he needed to convince Dorothy that he needed the wand for a good reason. And then Dorothy said, well, alright. And then, back in Wiggles' world, the Wiggles were visiting Henry the Octopus at the Sandlot. So they jumped in the pool, and they did the song Rockin' in the Rollin' Sea. And then, once they reached the bottom, they did the song Boom Boom, Henry's Underwater Big Band. And then they went off to find Dorothy at Wags' house. And then back at the school, Mrs. Bingle and her students were making some preparations for the party. And then, meanwhile, back at Wiggles' world, the Wiggles were visiting Wags the dog. But unfortunately, Dorothy wasn't there either. So they decided to say goodbye to Wags and drive off more. But little did the Wiggles know that Dorothy and Wally were right behind them. Then Dorothy and Wally visited Wags the dog. Wags tried to fix the wand, but unfortunately it got broken again, but this time into smaller pieces. And then they did the song Tap Wags. And then they continued with their journey. And then the Wiggles were looking for Dorothy in Wiggletown, but she was nowhere to be seen. Dorothy and Wally heard some music at the dance academy, and they did the song Ballerina, Ballerina. And after that, they decided to pay a visit from Captain Feathersword. And after they left the theater, well, I know most of you Wiggles fans had a different experience with this next scene after the Dance Academy scene, because you probably all enjoyed the next scene after that. It's when the Wiggles were looking at a map at Wiggles' world, but they found themselves a bit lost. So they decided to go find out where they are, and they saw the sign that says Burr Street. So Wiggles decided to go find out why they call it Burr Street, but soon they found out. The Wiggles got caught in a blizzard. Snow was flying everywhere, and the wind was really strong. And then they got blown back by the wind, and they fell down at the back of the big red car. Yeah, that scene really gave me chills when I first saw it, and it still does today. And if you remember what the wind sounded like in Burr Street, here's what the wind sounded like. Yep, that's what the wind sounded like. And I know most of you Wiggles fans probably enjoyed that scene because you probably thought it was funny. But me, I was terrified of that. And it still terrifies me today. And after that, it takes place at Captain Feathersword's dock, where Captain and his crew were passing things. And then Dorothy and Wally came up to the dock, and they performed for Wally and Dorothy the song Ooh, It's Captain Feathersword. And after that, the Wiggles head back to Wiggle House, and it was looking different than the one we see today. It was a one-story house, and the door originally, it was a really grouchy door, and decided to give the Wiggles the test. Once they passed, the door let the Wiggles in, and the Wiggles decided to check out their rooms to see Dorothy's inside. But once they checked, a funny thing happened. Jeff came out with Murray's shirt. Greg came out with Anthony's shirt. Anthony came out with Jeff's shirt. And Murray came out with Greg's shirt. But once they noticed, they went back and came out with their regular colors. And then they remembered long back when Dorothy was a baby dinosaur during her first birthday. And so, after that, the Wiggles decided to go find Dorothy some more. Then back at Captain Feathersword's dock, they were doing another dance. And then, once they said goodbye, Dorothy was feeling even more sad because she wished that everyone would remember her birthday. But Wally was by her side, and Wally had a dream that his great-grandfather, Waldo the Magnificent, told him, "Believe in yourself, Wally. Remember the magic chest." And then after the dream, he believed that he can do it without the wand. So they rushed to the magic competition, and they made it just in time before the registration closed. Once they went backstage to rehearse, everybody else was heading to Dorothy's party. But things weren't cheerfully at the circus tent. Everyone was wondering where Dorothy was, so there was nothing to do but wait. And then, back at the Magic Club, Wally performed his magic tricks, and this time they worked. And Wally was pronounced the winner. Roland was shocked, yet impressed at the same time. And so, Wally and Dorothy head to the celebration, and everybody was very happy to see Dorothy again. And then Wally told Greg of what he did to the wand, and decided to give the one he won to Greg. But Greg said, "I got a lot of other magic ones, so I would like you to keep." And then they went ahead and partied for Dorothy's birthday, and they did the final song, Let's Have a Party. And if you've seen every Wiggles concert, the song Let's Have a Party played at the end of every Wiggles show. And after the song, it took to the end credits where the Wiggly medley was played. And that's the end of the movie. Now, thanks for watching my movie review, everybody. If you want me to review another movie, just leave them down in the comments below. Thanks for watching.